a mini split on my wall would disrupt the aesthetic of my living room decor. Okay. Yeah. So I would like to point that out. All right. So one of the objections that we hear about mini split wall mount units in particular is that maybe customers don't want that thing on their wall. There are definitely homeowners that go that direction. I can tell you that I have wall mount units on my wall, and I am married to an interior designer. It's the only argument I ever won. That's just the way that's the way it goes. But no, so once these units are installed for some time, it becomes a part of the just the way it is. It's a utilitarian product. It's an appliance style product. So in that way, if people couldn't, if they didn't have to see their refrigerator or their oven or their dishwasher, some customers, some homeowners go out of their way to try to hide those things. One of the things that people typically don't hide is talking about Greg's TV, it's like a 90-inch TV, right? Right.
It's the only way I can see it.
Yeah, it's the only way you can see it. Okay. So, but when that TV is not in use, for example, it's a giant black box on the wall, right? No matter where you put it. I mean, yeah, there's some fancier TVs out there that look like paintings and stuff like that, but no matter where you put it, you end up with a giant black box on the wall. So, when you're looking at the cost associated with the efficiency associated with wall mount units, the homeowner is going to make that determination, and our job and your job as distributors or contractors or whatever is to give them the information so they can make an informed decision, right? If they see what kind of price difference is, for example, between a wall mount and then a ducted unit being hidden somewhere, maybe that's a determination that they'll use. Just like for efficiency, you don't have all the duct loss, and you're not putting something that's supposed to be cold air into a hot space like an attic. There's a lot of efficiency gains from using a ductless product. So when they see that, when they're talking about saving money, that kind of thing, they might be more apt to use like a wall mount unit. And as we've seen as a market, the popularity of these has exploded. And if you've been anywhere else in the world, you also see that's pretty much all they use. But please feel free to add to that, Justin, Greg.
Well, I'll say right off the bat, and I've said it many times before, until you got a wall mount that's blowing that cool air right over your bed when you're sleeping, you ain't living yet.
Right.
Because I like it cold when I'm sleeping. I want the comforter on, even in summertime.
Right.
So, and my wife was the same way. She didn't want any part of any wall mounts. And I was like, okay. And I finally beat her down, and I put them in the bedrooms. And after they've been up there for a little bit, she's like, that's really not bad at all. They don't bother her at all. So, but I could see it in the main living quarters that she didn't want them on the living room wall and stuff like that. So that's what we did the air handler for that, but there's other options as well. The floor ceiling units, you could always use those as well. And they're not up on the wall. So,
yeah. Ceiling cassettes, like the 4-way or the 1-way. 1-way has become very popular. It's up and mounted out of the way. It operates a lot like what a wall mount would, but it's on the ceiling instead. It's always kind of killed me, even with ceiling cassettes. People go, well, I don't know if I want something like that in the ceiling. And I look up, they've got like a 30 by 30 return grill and, all kinds of like can lights and, all kinds of stuff on the ceiling,
Well, now that you mentioned that, I think the 20 by 24 return grill I got in my living room is about ugly. I think the wall mount's better looking than that return grill is.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's just basic human psychology, right? They're going to notice it for about a month. Then after that, it just becomes part of the environment, and they don't really notice it again. So it's
right. Well, I'll tell you, I notice mine all the time, but I do this for a living, and I'm a heating and air nerd. We can't base our judgments on what we think, what the homeowners might think. I mean, we're the people that sit in the restaurant and look up at the ductwork. We're the ones who ride around town and go, hey, honey, I put that unit in. I put that unit in. Oh my God, look at that curve they put that unit on. Stuff like that. We pay attention to stuff like that. Homeowners 9 times out of 10 don't. As a matter of fact, when people are asked like what air conditioner do they have, they'll refer to the thermostat brand.
mm-hmm.
They may not even know half the time, right? They're not paying attention to it.
And how many of us go on vacation? You're taking pictures of the units that are you see around.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
You're like, who put
definitely do
that in?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I got plenty of let's say poor installations. We'll say that, or like a restaurant, they'll go, they don't really want the wall mounts, and then what they put in after that, sometimes it's not always spiral duct, and it's not always pretty, right? It's just not the way it always works.